Barren, a story of blame, betrayal, and rebirth. The city hummed beneath a curtain of twilight. Mariah stood still at her window, the skyline reflected in her weary eyes. 12 years of marriage had ended, not with a fight, but with a password denied, a signature scrawled in silence, and a door that never reopened. She gave him everything, but it wasn't enough. 12 years of marriage, countless dreams, but still no child. You never think it will end like this? 12 years, and in the end, all I got was a locked account, a cold signature, and silence. Within the stillness of their home, Mariah and Daniel occupied separate corners of a shared grief. Months blurred into years as they tried to conceive, their hopes tied to test results and doctor visits that never delivered good news. We tried for years, the tests, the doctors, the quiet sobs in the bathroom, every month, hope, then heartbreak. I wanted a family, a son, something that said I was more than just ordinary. But with Mariah, the crib stayed empty. Then the betrayal began. The first betrayal came in numbers. One morning, Mariah found herself locked out of the bank account she once shared with her husband. Days later, her life was uprooted entirely. One morning, the account said unauthorized. A week later, the door slammed shut for good. It had been nearly a year since Daniel locked Mariah out of the bank account. 2 weeks later, the divorce papers arrived like a slap across the face. He said he wanted a fresh start. No counseling, no explanation. Just an abrupt end to 12 years of marriage. He had blamed her in quiet ways for the lack of children. "Maybe it's just not meant to be," he once said. But Mariah had caught the hesitation in his voice when he stared a little too long at the baby section in Target, or flinched during family gatherings when people whispered, "Still no kids? Can't wait to be a dad with you." Mariah couldn't give me a child. Lana could, or so I thought. Flashback, 2 months after divorce. Daniel once thought he had a clean escape. His mistress, Lana, had gotten pregnant weeks before the divorce. He took it as divine confirmation. Mariah was the problem. He told himself that every day. But Lana was acting strange, avoiding his calls. Then she told him the truth about why she had an abortion. Daniel's fantasy began to crumble over dinner. Lana, distant and cold, could no longer keep her secret veiled. Lana started to avoid me, canceled dinners, dodged my calls. When she finally confessed, I swear the floor moved. "It's possible it wasn't yours. I'm married, Daniel. I didn't want either of your babies. I didn't tell you because I knew you'd leave." His world turned to static. "But the baby? I didn't know whose it was," she said. But I didn't want it either way. While he chased his fantasy, I rebuilt quietly. Away from judgment and grief, Mariah found healing and quiet afternoons that once haunted her. At first, I couldn't stop asking why. Then I stopped asking. Therapy, peace, space. Then one day, 2 pink lines. Not a dream, not a heartbreak. Real, he thought I was broken. Turns out I was just with the wrong person. After the divorce, Mariah vanished from his life. No social media updates, no mutual friends, just silence. And then he saw her. The night fate circled back. Fate chose a crowded gala to bring the past face to face with the present. The lobby lights glittered against polished marble, and Daniel was mid-conversation when his eyes landed on the woman entering from the revolving door. When Daniel spotted her from across the room, everything he believed shattered. She was glowing. No, radiant. Her hand rested gently on a visibly round belly. Mariah, she was visibly pregnant, healthy, smiling, alive in a way she'd never been in the final years of their marriage. Her? Here? Pregnant? His jaw slackened. His glass of champagne slipped from his fingers and hit the tile floor with a sharp crack. The sound shattered more than glass. The cup dropped from his hand and shattered. He stumbled backward, eyes wide, blood drained from his face. Mariah met his gaze. She didn't flinch. She gave him a small, knowing smile, then turned to speak to the man beside her. Tall, handsome, his hand placed protectively on her back. The kind of man who would never doubt her worth. Daniel bent over and retched violently, the bile rising fast. Several guests turned, startled. One staff member rushed toward him with a cloth and concern. Without saying a word, he swept out of the room, still looking visibly ill. He locked her out, he let her go, all because he thought she was broken, but she wasn't the broken one. Daniel tried reaching out. One text, then another. No reply. One day, he saw a post. Grateful for a healthy baby boy and a second chance at love. Accompanied by a photo. Mariah and her new husband, holding their newborn. The caption burned into his retinas. Daniel sat in the dark of his empty apartment. The echo of his past decisions grew louder than any silence. He hadn't just lost Mariah. He'd lost everything. Now, it's his world that's falling apart. The path forward was quiet, filled not with revenge, but peace. As Daniel sat alone in his apartment, haunted by what he lost, Mariah moved forward with grace. The past could no longer bind her. Mariah walked beneath the soft light of dawn, her child in her arms, her gaze steady and peaceful. He thought she was the broken one, but she was just waiting for the right beginning. You blamed me for our childless years, but it wasn't me. It never was. Now I know my worth. Now I know peace.